What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we'll be ranking all 6 Terminator films from the worst to the best. Now before we start, don't forget that like and subscribe to the post notification bell so you can know for every video. Let's just start. So the Terminator franchise is one of my favorite franchises of all time because each of them are very unique in the way they portray their story, the Terminators, the characters, and the whole sci-fi aspect of the Terminator is why Terminator is one of the best franchises ever made. So without further ado, let's get started. So coming in number 6 is going to be Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. This film is horrible. It is utter garbage. It's not the worst film that I've ever seen, but as you can see in my review, I did not like it at all. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger in this role again, portraying the Terminator. He is fantastic, but the rest of the characters were terrible. The actual story of this film could have been better, but I think it was fine for a Terminator film. But the way it was executed, it was horrible. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. I did not like the way the characters interacted with between each other, and what happens to some of the characters and why they're in the film in the first place is mind-blowing to me. Why they would even approve this as a film. So Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines is without a doubt the worst Terminator film. That's why it comes in at number 6. Coming number 5 is going to be Terminator Dark Fate. Now this film is just a little, just a slight step up from Terminator 3, but it's still a very, very bad film. I did not like it at all. Of course, you once again have Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton back in the roles as their characters. They were very, very good in this film. You also have the Rev 9, which is a new villain. That character I thought was fine. The rest of the characters were terrible. I didn't care about any of them. There are a lot of plot holes within this film, a lot of plot holes, and I didn't really understand why this film needed to exist, except to make more money. That is basically what this film is for. The story is horrible. The story does not service the characters in any way, shape, or form because Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger really have nothing to do in the film. They have no interactions, relations to any of the characters in the film. And there's nothing that happens between them at all. The only thing that they have a connection to is John Connor with a sort of flashback sequence with John Connor, but then again, that doesn't even make any sense. So overall, Terminator Dark Fate is just a slight step up from Terminator 3, but it is still a very bad film, and that's why it comes in at number 5. Number 4 is going to be Terminator Genisys. Now, this is where I would say that this one is watchable. Terminator Genisys is watchable. It's not a bad film, it's not a good film, but it's watchable. You have, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, once again, in the role as Terminator. He is very, very good. You have all these other characters, which you have Emilia Clarke in this film. She's good. You also have Jai Courtney. He is really good in the film. The rest of the characters, they were fine. I cared about the lead characters. The action sequences were fun. They were entertaining. You also have Jason Clarke in this film. He plays the villain, and I think he did a fantastic job at playing the villain Terminator. He is very good in the film. And I thought the character dynamics between the characters were fun. They were entertaining, and the whole story was good enough. The action sequences were competently shot. I liked the different action set pieces in this film. But where this film goes down for me is that it's really bland. Some of it is very bland. Some of it, I just did not care about what was happening. While the action sequences look good, some of them don't look good in terms of like the actual choreography and the actual camera movements of the action sequences. But I would say that you could watch this film and have a good enough time with it. So Terminator Genisys comes in at number 4. Coming to number 3 is going to be Terminator Salvation. Now, I really enjoyed this film. This is where it starts to be good, where I will definitely rewatch these top 3 films. Terminator Salvation is a very fun film, sort of like a Terminator futuristic Western film, which I really, really enjoyed. You have Christian Bale as a lead character. He is very, very good in this film. I think he plays John Connor. Very good in the film. You also have these weird Terminators that look completely different from anything we've ever seen in the franchise before. They're all metal. They have these red eyes. It's awesome. It's awesome. The Terminators in this film are some of the best Terminator designs of the entire franchise. The action sequences, I thought they were fun. the whole futuristic tone of the film, I thought it worked very, very well. Like I said earlier, this is a sort of futuristic Western Terminator film, and it works very, very well in that regard. I thought some of the other characters were actually not bad. Bryce Dallas Howard is in this film. She's very good in this film. I really liked how they used the story for this film because it is a small story, but it is not as bland as the ones below it. And I think the character serves the story in a way that's meaningful and works well with the film. And like I said earlier, the action sequences were very, very well done. They were shot competently. And the third act of the film, which I said in my review, but the third act of the film I thought was fun and very entertaining. So overall, Terminator Salvation comes in at number 3. Number 2 is going to be The Terminator. I love this film. I love, love, love The Terminator. This is one of my all-time favorite films. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton. They're phenomenal in this film. This film is one of the best, I would say, horror action films of all time. It works very, very well as a horror film, and it works very, very well as an action film. The Terminator just goes off on everyone in the bar sequence. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And, well, not the bar sequence. There's a sequence in this film with Sarah Connor and Terminator. I think it was one sequence with them two. Very, very well done. The action sequences are awesome. James Cameron knew exactly what he was doing, and his vision for the film was phenomenal. So overall, The Terminator is a fantastic film. That's why it comes in at number 2. But of course, coming number 1 is going to be Terminator 2 or T2 Judgment Day. This is one of the best films of all time. This is one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made. This is easily in my top 3 favorite sci-fi films ever made. James Cameron just did a fantastic job with the characters, progressing the story. This is a very, very dark film, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, a very, very dark film. And I really like that because, first of all, the cinematography is phenomenal. The blue lighting works very, very well with this sort of sci-fi futuristic film. You also have that opening sequence, which is one of the greatest opening sequences of any Terminator film ever made. It's just an action sequence, but the action sequence is held and created very, very well. And James Cameron did a great job with that sequence. And the whole entire film, how it progresses from John Connor being that person that's going to save the human race from the Terminators. And I really like that because Arnold Schwarzenegger does a great job with interacting with John Connor, and the whole relationship between him and John Connor all the way to the end of the film where, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, dies and sacrifices himself. Very emotional. You also have the villain. The villain is another Terminator, but this is one of the greatest villains of the entire Terminator franchise just because of how iconic he is. He is very, very good as the villain. And overall, this is just one of the greatest films ever made. And that's why Terminator 2 Judgment Day comes in at number 1. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can get notified for a video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.